Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the RTL Beach. And for those who are physically here with us, thank you so much for being here this morning. Make yourselves feel comfortable. We're about to embark on a fascinating talk with our panelists here today on what some might call the latest buzz. It's a bit of a buzzword here in Cannes. I went the first day down to the Palace and I said, what's the buzzword this year? And everybody said AI, AI, AI. And that was the only thing that came out when I was talking to people. It's a buzzword, but it's also the next biggest challenge of our future. And I think we all agree with that. So let's go beyond the buzzwords this morning and find out how advertising can get the most out of AI. That's the idea of this talk. And I have 4 experts by my side this morning, and I'm going to introduce them to you. First of all, Tom Peruzzi from Virtual Minds. Tom, really great to have you with us. Thanks very much. Guillaume Belmas is here. Hello, Guillaume. Good morning. Who masterminds data at Realytics. Frank Vogel, nice to have you with us. AdAlliance Germany. And Oliver Vesper, Deputy CEO, RTL AdAlliance. So super panel, super subject. First thing you need to know, everybody, really important, you guys here are collaborating. You're working together. This is a very first in Europe. We've never seen this before, and it really needs to be underlined. You have created, I don't know if you can say a partnership. I think that's the best way to go about things. Can you set the scene? Tell us a little bit more, Oliver, to start with.
Yes, good morning, Louise. At the end of the day, AI needs to be fed by data. That's the starting point. And in a total video world, what we ideally want to see, we want to see the one-to-one data from the digital world. We want to see the one-to-many data from the classic linear television. And ideally, we want to break the silos and bring it together. And this is basically what we can witness right now in Germany with the cooperation between SmartLab RTL and Virtual Minds ProSieben. What we are doing there is we have the SmartLab side of things, which are really experts in broadcaster ad serving, SSP, addressable TV, but there was a gap. There was a gap into the one-to-many classic linear world. This is where Virtual Minds comes from. And if we bring this now together, so we have really now the first time what we, in my view, really see across Europe, that we can break the silos, bring the one-to-many and one-to-one world together in a holistic way, and then we can apply AI in a much more scalable way. So this is really something, I would say, this is really TV innovation, what we haven't seen in my view, and that power so strong lately. So it's really exciting.
Wonderful. How do you see this partnership from your point of view, Tom?
Yeah, I simply could agree on Oliver now. That would make my life easier. I just want to append a few more things. When you get the data from linear and you can marriage or unite it with the data from digital, a few things happen. So there's a large scope. You can optimize on all across all the silos which existed before. You get the inventory managed appropriately through all those silos. The silo doesn't exist anymore on inventory level, on data level. More data will evolve on top of that. That's potentially Guillaume bringing in. And so it's uniting data, uniting inventory, creating new data on top of it, and that's the magic of the collaboration.
Wonderful. Magical collaboration, he's saying. Do you agree, Guillaume? You're in this partnership as well. Tell us about your side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you named it. We are in the data game.
Yeah.
And but we use data for measurement because it's about added value. It's about value for the customer, but also for the whole value chain. And this not can be done without measurement because you cannot optimize what you don't measure. So we need measurement. We need the underlying data as well to create segments and create even more value here. So that's our job into this partnership. Mm-hmm. And yeah, very glad to collaborate on both digital and TV world.
Wonderful. Frank, a word from you on this collaboration as well, from your side, and the value that it's bringing to your clients?
Definitely. So what is the very important thing about the client? So we talk about first the transformation of linear TV. From a sales house perspective, that is so important because it means to monetize the whole inventory. So linear TV, addressable TV, connected TV and in-stream in a better way than we have done it before. So that's more the sales house perspective. And the clients, they really have a strong demand for example, what we will enable first is a programmatic TV approach towards all inventories. So the inventory of ProSieben Sat.1 and also of RTL Deutschland, and that's really a high demand. So we did a roadshow, I think 1 or 2 months ago, and the demand was so extremely, so they wanted to book immediately. So we had to slow down, which normally is not the case. For a salesperson, it's fantastic if somebody says, yes, I want to book now. But we have to slow a bit down until the colleagues are ready. But I try to push them, of course.
Okay, yeah, so this is, we're talking about value here, and how do we go about proving the value from your point of view, Guillaume?
Measuring,
okay. That's one word, but you can go a bit further if you like to.
No, I mean, I totally agree. There's the measurement because first you need to make the proof, and then you need actionable items to optimize this and create even more value. And so the optimization is the learnings, but also it's made from the data you create by measuring. So again, it's not about just showing some KPIs. It's about having the right actionable items, and not only insights, but items you can put in the value chain, along the value chain, not only on the advertiser side, but also on the publisher side.
Oliver?
I would just like to add something. So if we are saying holistic, this is a strong word, right? It raises a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
But if you think it through, and if someone really wants to buy a total video campaign on a CPM basis, from linear TV to addressable TV to connected TV to the online video world, a question will come up: can you deduplicate the reach? Which one I have reached in those contexts?
Sure.
In those different, and we can. And this is really what we can. So we can duplicate this. That sounds operational, but it's big innovation that you can really follow this and report on this. Where have I got my contacts first? And this is completely independent from my own programmatic. So there's a lot of data is applied there, but it is there. It's not something what we need to build, and this makes the cooperation very, very strong. It's something we need to plug together now and integrate it, but not just defining the world new. We have that tools at hand.
Frank?
I have to underline that because they're so important in terms of from the client's perspective, especially because right now we have so many new approaches or offers from Amazon Prime, from Netflix, and what we will build up with that is that we at least break up all silos. So you will have the whole inventory, and you can see the deep duplication of probably a whole campaign, also between RTL Deutschland and 7.1 Media, and the others still are in their silos. So at least that is a huge advantage for I think, our approach in German inventory.
Wonderful. Tom, you wanted to react? Guillaume? Tom first?
React. I want to append one thing that is super important when you think about measurement and when you think about online video or one-to-one media plus one-to-many media. With the measurement, what gets into place too is that you can do real-time decision making about what kind of ad should be displayed now based on yield management. So you bring in, with all those digital capabilities, you bring in something like yield management in a traditional linear TV, and that's a huge benefit too.
I'd like to talk about AI a little bit, because from what I understand, I'm not a specialist, guys, you are the specialist, but data and AI go, data doesn't go without AI doesn't go without data. It's like the chicken and the egg kind of thing. So sometimes people think, they have a tendency of thinking that AI is like a superpower. What do you think, Guillaume?
It could, but data is the real superpower. Because AI, yes, it's a buzzword, but it's not new. However, AI techniques evolved, and also the availability of data, the underlying data of which feeds the AI. It's really more easy right now to feed an AI with tons of data sets than it was before. So consequently, the AI are better, they act faster, and it's really an enhancement of what you're doing by leveraging AI. But the real superpower is the data you use to feed the AIs, in my opinion.
Tom, I'd like to have your opinion on this.
Yes and no.
This is the yes and no moment.
No.
I like debates. Go for it.
No, the thing is, it's definitely true with good data, with curated data, with accepted and understood data. When you build models on top of that, new data evolves, which wasn't there before, which is hopefully less complex, better explainable, and maybe is the next step for another AI process on top of it. So AI can create data on top of data, which is new and which is unique. That's the one thing. The other thing is AI is a very broad term, and we have seen so many different facets of AI in the past that somehow it is okay to say that's the superpower. Think about forecasting, think about lookalike modeling, think about all the making reports less complex, because over the last couple of years with all those different channels we have seen more and more dimensions, and with each dimension it became even harder to interpret it, and AI helps you a lot in order to understand what you're doing in your marketing machine, and that's why it's somehow okay to name it a superpower, like advertising is a superpower.
Oliver?
Yeah, I mean, just to add, I mean, what has changed now is you are applying it once. Whatever you do in the data, once, what I mean is, so in Germany, it's now RTL and Peruzzi. So biggest broadcaster are using the same methodology behind all those data sets. So it's not, how are they doing it in Munich? How are they doing it in Cologne? This comes to an end now. So it's it's a completely different scalable game, and the data sets will be much bigger. So AI will play a major role, but you're solving it once. So if the demand side has a question, now it's not like, well, we have to answer, but together. It's not like, I cannot say how they are doing it. It's one solution, and that's unique in Europe.
So it's simplifying and scaling then?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and this is also the reason why this has potential for Europe, because we at RTL AdAlliance, we are witnessing TV transformation every day.
Yeah.
So people want to introduce CPM models into their game and attribution things into the mix, and of course breaking the silos. We have these questions basically daily, and at least what we can say now is, have a look. There's this really innovative what is happening there, and it's in the interest of the demand side, because as Frank, as you said, basically nearly all agencies already, right, ask us, can you come and explain what you're doing, where do you stand, what is it about, can you add more information? And I think this has a huge potential to expansion.
Just to be really clear, it's a partnership. Are you signing anything? Is it an agreement that you have together? How does it work in a few words so that we know?
Yes, we wanted to make it as practical as possible. So it's really an alliance and a cooperation model. We didn't say, no, let's figure out the corporate world for the next 3 years and then building stuff. That's not what we are doing. We are using the technologies which are there, forming cooperation and alliance around. And long term, of course, otherwise that makes no sense.
Yeah, sure.
But then you are quick. You are faster for the go-to-market.
Okay. As far as sort of advertising is concerned now, in which field would you guys say that artificial intelligence is the most value adding? Tom, Guillaume, maybe to start with.
I would say the AI, if we speak about advertising, AI helps to create the data you need when it doesn't exist, basically. So the best example I have is what we've been doing at Realytics for 10 years, creating digital data, digital KPIs around linear TV. Linear TV being disconnected. I mean, at the very beginning, 10 years ago, it was completely disconnected. And we created data around linear TV in order to connect it. And we are using AI techniques to create this data. And then it's a virtuous circle, because the data you create enable to improve the algorithm, the machine learning algorithm, the deep learning algorithms, and so you have this virtuous circle, and you create even more data. So it's really a sweet spot there to connect the data, to normalize the data, but also to create the data you need.
Tom?
Yeah, you know, I'm a technologist. I'm not a creative guy, so I cannot talk about cats or stuff like that now. But the thing is, as a technologist, I think it's really making use of data, making data explainable, and even more important, creating new data which is actionable, which is actionable immediately. May it be in some kind of programmatic auction modeling, may it be in some kind of like lookalike modeling or stuff like that, or may it be in explaining the customer or guiding the customer to the right audience, or guiding the customer to the right campaign setup, because it's so complex what we have built in the past with all those different kinds of channels, with different KPIs, with different KPI sets. You want to be comparable and stuff like that. And if we can make use of AI to really guide the customer towards a good campaign setup, towards a good campaign result with the help of AI, I think that's one more UI-centric topic maybe, but it's a very important topic, because at the end our systems are only used if they create real value to our customers, on the one hand side to the publishers, but on the other hand side to the advertisers. And if they feel happy because they feel guided with the help of AI, then I think this can create true value too.
Is AI the key to success? Is it the door that's opening?
It's a good question. Because definitely it helps. But you need to master what you do. AI won't solve your problems. It will help you, but it won't solve your problems on its own. So you need to master what you do with AI. AI will be an accelerator for you, and so it can, but it's not an easy answer.
No.
I'm a bit more positive.
Go for it.
Because I think so. We as a media house, we have billions of data of content signals, so to speak, and it's so difficult for us to get the deeper information. For example, someone is looking for a recipe, and beyond this data is probably a purchase signal for a specific product, which is so important for our clients. And we could never do that by hand. So we need artificial intelligence to decode these content signals into, so to speak, purchase signals. And that is a huge, I think, progress which we never could do before. That's probably what the American tech platforms did first, and we now try to come back to that game.
Oliver.
Yeah, I would like to add something. If you think about if the worlds are married, so let's say beginning of next year we have really the one-to-one and the one-to-many world together, then questions in terms of planning will come up. So what is the optimized best media plan, so to speak, speaking our language independently from the agencies, but from our side, what's the best? How can I answer a brief to a certain target now in this new world? And for sure, AI will play a role there, depending on what the client's KPIs are. But now you need to think it in the holistic way. So that's quite a challenging and important task for the sales houses, right? That you get this right, because there's also a big we cannot talk about innovation, but then we cannot deliver. So we need tools to support us in this job, because it will be a quite challenging job. But it's very sexy now that we have this combined.
Yeah, and to say one more sentence with regards to that, the more we unite those different systems, the more we, on the one hand side, create complexity, but the more with the help of AI, we can keep those systems explainable. And that's why it's really important to have on the one hand side data for decision making and data for explaining it, for making reporting accessible, for letting customers participate in the journey and having a good understanding of why they spent the money.
This is a European alliance for European clients, correct?
Yes, it's AdTech made in Europe for Europe. So this is the scope. And this is also a big differentiator. It starts now in Germany. This is the blueprint, and it's a big one, I would say, if you look in the landscape across Europe. But it has the potential, and we can really. We have so many interest from broadcasters who wants to listen to this. We presented already numerous of times. This will take some time, but there's so many innovation in it that it's really, in my view, really a big asset what we have hand now. Going to European broadcasters, have a look at this, because if you think it through, and it would be applied by more broadcasters across Europe. Honestly, for RTL AdAlliance, this would be a dream. So we can really promise our simplification. Seriously, if you're an international buyer, it's already very complicated. But the more adoption we have for a unique tech stack, it will simplify the life a lot. Germany made the bold move to start now, but this has a lot of power if those two houses are really applying it.
You were saying, we need to get the message out there. People are calling you up. People are going to want to hear you. How is that structured? Are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? I mean, you can each do it in your different domains and preach, but is it going to be structured?
It is structured. I mean, it's on the one hand, first, it comes with people, right? I mean, it's also part of a corporation. If you don't like each other, it's getting difficult, right? But this is not the case. So we have also between Virtual Minds and SmartLab and RTL AdAlliance, so it all comes together. So the tech and media, they're all aligned. And in some cases, Virtual Mind goes out and presents everything. In some cases, we go out and present it. In many cases, we did it together. So this is really, we can, depending a little bit what is the target audience who wants to see both or one of them, but we all are going out, SmartLab, Virtual Minds, RTL AdAlliance, and present it.
I have to append one thing, because when we had our first discussions just a while ago, it was so amazing because we had independently we had the same vision where we want to head to, and we found out that we are quite complementary, and that's why it makes so easy to really live that partnership, because there's very little competition inside, and that doesn't harm the partnership. And so we really out there together or alone, and then bring in the others again. And that's really a very living and a very a partnership really worth living.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else like to comment on that one? No, you're cool. Guillaume?
Totally agree. I mean, we what's interesting, I can give an example. We have the same vision regarding programmatic TV and the usage of AI into this. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting in the way we implement it. And so we implemented it at Realytics from the demand side and Virtual Minds from the sell side. And actually everything combined quite well together, and also with this philosophy around the usage of the data and AI around it. So yeah, I agree, it's a good fit.
What I find fascinating is also the signal we can give to Europe. I had yesterday so many talks. Yeah, we built this on our own. We built this on our own. Some components, not what we do. So really, you're building this on your own? I'm building is one thing. Maintaining it, developing it further is another thing. So are you really prepared to do that? So and what we did is, and this is really remarkable, is you have to make bold decisions. We were strong in one-to-one. They are strong in one-to-many. Okay. Then we are not building one-to-many further. That stops here now. We take the media manager from Virtual Minds. And the other way around, addressable TV and broadcaster ad serving. Okay, that's your turf. We take it. So this is something where Europe is, is not easy to convince everybody. That's clear. But these bold decisions. Think about it. What are the assets? What other companies have to, and find a way. This is something really new, and it's good that a big country like Germany did that move.
Frank?
Yeah, and I think the biggest advantage is when you come back to the sales perspective, that it definitely becomes quicker, because the demand is already there. We have to be quick. We have to go to implement it now, and that's better if you build everything on your own. So especially as a salesperson, you never know what the tech guys are doing. So and then it takes forever, because a tech guy always says, yeah, it's not a problem, but then it is a problem, or probably it takes longer than we all would like. Sorry for that. So I'm definitely a fan of partnering, because it's efficient and quick.
Mm-hmm. Tom?
Yeah, I want to append one thing, because we unite digital and with traditional linear TV and making it accessible. We make the inventory accessible, we make the data accessible, and we are able to create models on top of it and use AI on top of it, which nobody can use without that partnership. And I think that's one of the core benefits too.
Wonderful. Oliver?
And you were asking, is it structured? And it is very structured. So people in the back are already working on it. So it's really going to happen. So we identified first quick wins. So we go for the quick wins first. And then, of course, we need to bring out some very innovative product. If you really have programmatic linear TV, that's, of course, very innovative. So then focusing on that. But we are doing steps in the back. It's already, they are working together and bringing it to life. So step by step. And this is fast. This is fast in the broadcaster world.
Very much so. We're coming to the end of the discussion. There's 4 minutes left. What I would like is to give you sort of a last word to each of you. Do you have a call for action? Would you like to highlight, the best opportunity from this alliance, from this partnership? A last word from each of you. Let's start with, I don't know, Guillaume.
Wow. Takeaway.
What do we need to retain from what this is going to give to? I mean, people are thinking, okay, how's this going to actually help me? In simple terms, what's the best thing about this alliance?
So we mentioned it many times. Measurement is key for many scenarios. There is this fragmented world, and there is what we're trying to do is to unify the measurement. My takeaway is to say, okay, don't wait for the perfect version of it, because everything changes so many times a year and so fast that adaptation to this moving world is super hard, even with the help of AI. But we're moving fast, actually, and also there is this competition with the rest of the big streaming platforms that is also key to understand, because here again the usage of data and AI can help to have a better competition with these platforms, and also for the sake of the value given to the advertiser and the value we create also along the value chain. I strongly believe that if we have something weighted between the demand side and the sell side, this will work and this will be sustainable. Otherwise, it won't work.
Fantastic. Who would like to conclude on their side? Tom.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about who it was, but I think it was Meyer Schönefeld and his book saying once then you go for AI or machine learning, you should know what you want to ask. And I think that's very important in general and especially in Europe, because when you think about GDPR and stuff like that, we should do some kind of data minimization. So we should know upfront what kind of data we collect. That's one thing on AI. That's really measure, know what you want to ask, and make it accessible and make it as automated as possible. I think that's one of the aims of our partnership as well. We always think about what kind of data do we need in order to create good results. How can we get that data together, or in one of the pieces we currently connect to each other. And on the other hand side, I'm inviting everyone out of Europe. This is AdTech made in Europe, AdTech made for Europe. If you are out of Europe, either with a solution or as an interest, feel free to join.
Frank?
I make it very short and simple. I think what is in it is to partner with your strongest competitor can, of course, create some fears, and especially for sales guys. So your competitor is very close, but I'm convinced that when we cooperate, when we become quicker, more efficient, it will be beneficial for both of us. So it will be more money.
Alliance is making things stronger and
Yes,
benefiting
and
everybody.
that's a mindset shift. So it's no longer 7-1 against AdAlliance. It's together in a technical way, of course. So, but I think in the end, it will create more money for all of us.
Good news.
I have to repeat what Tom said, right? This is just my call to action. So AdTech made in Europe is really there now. It's really there for TV innovation. It's absolutely, it was always a dream, really merging the digital world with the TV world. It's now there. Have a look, explore it, come to us, let's discuss, let's simplify Europe.
And you can continue this discussion over coffee if you would like to as well with all our guys here. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great discussion. Next panel in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louise.